Welcome to the 52nd Street Project and to tonight's performance of Flying Solo. Thank you so much for being here, whether you are in person at Hell's Kitchen or if you're tuning in virtually online. Hello out there. Hello to all my friends and all the cameras. Hi. Tonight's a very special night because tonight is the first time that project members are performing on our stage since January 2020. So you are here on a very special night. So 5 weeks ago, I started meeting with this wonderful group of young people and volunteers in the front row. We started meeting on Tuesdays, and we started to talk about the idea of solo performance. At the 52nd Street Project, you often see several actors on stage playing different characters, interacting with each other in scenes, but this is totally different. We talked about why someone might want to write a solo piece for themselves. What is a solo piece? How is it different? We talked about the idea of courage. We did a lot of writing around some ideas like facing the unknown, standing up for something we believe in. We explored elements of personal storytelling, of poetry, of playwriting. These 5 young people, they wrote a bunch. They were very brave, sharing work they created just that afternoon with each other. And it was a very supportive room. Sometimes when you're writing a solo piece, it can be a very lonely process, but these 5 had each other's back the whole time, and I think you will see that ethos tonight on stage. And what you're about to see tonight are 5 original solo pieces that each of the 5 members in the front row developed over the past 5 weeks. They wrote it themselves, they're going to be performing it themselves. They each had the support of a volunteer throughout the process, but it is all them tonight. So I'm very excited for you to see kind of the finished product of the last 5 weeks. A couple of housekeeping things for our friends who are in person with us. Thank you so much for keeping your mask on while you're at the 52nd Street Project. Just as a reminder, we ask that you keep your mask on throughout the duration of the show, and while you are here, to keep all of our everyone in our community safe. We very much appreciate that. If you have a cell phone or a tablet or a smartwatch or anything that might light up or make noise during the show, please take a moment to turn that off, silence that. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend in the back. We're going to turn those off. Yes. Yeah, we're working on it. In case of an emergency, there are emergency exits back this direction, and then through the doors that you came in. There's no food or water inside of the theater because we are going to keep our masks on to keep each other safe. I'll just say it one more time. Let's turn our phones off. We want to be able to hear the wonderful words that these young people have written tonight. While you do that, there's a couple of people that I would like to thank that aren't going to get to take a bow tonight. First of all, the amazing crew of volunteers who are in the class with us every week. That's Adair, Jose, Kendall, Michael, and Ronald. Let's give it up for them. Thank you so much, you all. I really appreciate what you brought to the class. Speaking of bringing things to the class, I want to give a big shout out to our intern Christian, who's in the front row right now running the show. Christian is also in the class with us, leading warm-ups, being a beacon of light and support. I want to give another shout out to Layla. Layla, where are you?
I'm over here.
Hi, Layla. Layla's another intern here, and they helped out with production week. So thank you, Layla, for all your support. And then a big shout out to Bree and George in the back. Bree Andy's doing lights and sound, double duty, and George is making sure our live stream is crispy for all of you tuning in at home. So thank you, George. Coming up at the 52nd Street Project, in just 2 weeks' time, we are going to be performing In the Same Boat, the Buoyant Plays. It'll be 8 teams of project members and volunteers performing plays from the 2-on-2 archive. So these are old plays that we're bringing back, giving a second life to. Many of the project members that you're going to see in 2 weeks on this stage will be making their acting debuts. So you definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be another hybrid performance, so you can come in person, you can tune in online. That'll be one night only on Friday, February 25th at 7:30. And then a little bit down the line, we have our playmaking show, Penny for Your Thoughts, the Priceless Plays. That'll be April 1st and 2nd. It's a project classic. New project members will be writing plays for adults who will direct and act and design their shows, bring them to life. There will be 8 world premiere plays that evening, so you definitely are going to want to come in person or tune in. Again, those will be hybrid performances on April 1st and 2nd. One last reminder to turn off any phones or devices that make noise or light up during your show. Great. How are we doing tonight? Are we ready? Awesome. Great. So without further ado, please enjoy Flying Solo.
Sometimes I wish people understood me. I put up this mask to pretend everything is fine, but it's not. Sometimes I wonder if it ever will be. I fake this bubbly, always happy, never down person, but I know it's all fake. Like yesterday, as I was in study hall, no one looked like they wanted to be there. The room was dead. I think even Miss Smith didn't want to be there. Miss Smith was the ELA teacher, but loved to work overtime. When we went in the classroom, Miss Smith said, "Hello everyone, how are we? How are we doing?" I simply said, "Great, everything's fine, everything's perfect, wow, excited!" Truth is, the night before I got no sleep. Last night, as I shuffled through my Broadway musicals playlist, I couldn't stop thinking about how that's who I wanted to be. Take on a lead role, singing, acting, dancing, doing something you love. That's what I wanted. As I take off my headphones, I realize I'm still in bed, not on stage, and my mom is screaming, "Kiara, come throw out the trash, stop listening to that silly music." I roll my eyes a bit, and my older sister complains, "When I was your age, I never had an attitude like that." My mom says, "You need to stop being lazy." When I'm at home, my family thinks I'm rude and a brat. When I'm at school, almost all of the students and teachers think I'm the bubbly theater kid. That's what's scary. Once I was done throwing the trash, my mom says, "What's the attitude for?" I replied with, "Just leave me alone." Then my mom turns red. "Kiara, that attitude of yours better take you to Stuyvesant. Kiara, you're not going to one of those art schools. Kiara, you're setting yourself up for failure." My mom doesn't believe in my talent. She thinks it's a hobby, like cleaning. When she finishes screaming, I tell her I have pure talent, potential. I can be a star. She just laughs in my face. "Go clean your room, Kiara. I'm tired of your nonsense." Today after school, I asked my theater teacher for a recommendation letter for high school. Really, it was for my mom so she could see other people think I'm a star. When Miss Gomez hands me the pink letter, I read it immediately. 3 pages worth, full of just talking about my talent. When I get home from school, I hand the paper to my mom. I see her eyes skimming down the paper, word for word. My palms are sweaty and my heart is beating out of my chest. When she's done, I say, "Mom, you see? My teacher says I'm a star. Mom, look." Kiara is a star, waiting to be discovered with the voice of an angel. Her talent shakes rooms. This makes me happy, Mom. She just sits there for 2 straight minutes, dead silence. She looks at me up and down and says, "You want to be a star? You sure?" "It's not easy, honey. I'm hard on you for a reason. You don't think I want you to be a star? With that comes responsibilities. You think tomorrow you will be famous? Some actors act for years and still aren't famous. Don't you want a stable job?" All I could say back was, "Okay, okay, okay." I let her have that round of convincing. But then something came out of me. I did not get all this way to let her win. I'm not kidding, she was grinding my gears. So I say, "Mom, I'm sick and tired of you. You don't believe in me. All I ask is to apply to arts high schools. I'm not asking for $1 million. You just want me to have a perfect life because you screwed up yours. You had 2 kids by 18 with 2 jobs and the fathers weren't around. I did not come on this earth to be controlled." As I was screaming, I felt my legs getting heavy. I had never spoke to my mom like that. My mom just stares at me because she's so in shock I did this horrible thing. And by horrible, I mean state my opinion. All she says is, "Honey, I just don't want you to make the same mistakes I made. You can apply to as many as you feel. If that makes you happy, then apply. When I was your age, I wasn't happy. Nothing ever satisfied me. I don't know, you just want to be happy." My mom looked defeated. I tell her, "Mom, I'm sorry. My happiness is important." She just responds with, "I understand." The words I've been waiting to hear from her for months! So yes, maybe I hurt my mom's feelings by explaining how I felt. But hey, most of the schools I applied to were of the arts.
I chose to spend my summer with my sci-fi obsessed BFF, and I regretted it. Faith had her eyes on this creepy house for a while. Sadly, I was the only friend to budge. Me and hers friendship was made out of begging each other to do things. It's just how we work, although it never turned out good. It was around 10:30, so it was kind of dark. We had a flashlight, but it flickered due to low battery. We had our phone, but mine was on 20, whilst hers was on 13. I made her promise me ice cream after, and thankfully, she did. As we walked on sand, I cried and complained about my feet aching. Finally, we got there, being followed by footsteps we believed to be deer. Because we thought they were deer, we didn't even bat an eye and turn around. That was our biggest regret. 2 clearly tipsy men that must have lived nearby asked what we were doing, and we ran. Clearly not in the right direction, because Faith started to look around. "Faith, where are we?" "I know where we are, trust me, trust me." I'm stressed enough, and the trees on the spider do not help. "Do you? You seem kind of lost." She doesn't know. She never knows. This always happens. Of course I do. I've been here for 3 years straight. You need to trust me. At this point, I was pantsing with a dead flashlight. I didn't see anything familiar, nor did I hear the music we heard before. Not only that, but the signs were oh so confusing. Thankfully, after about 15 minutes of walking up and down the boardwalk, we made it home. Amen. Now, I know using a horror story to show our friendship was a little bit weird, but it's the only way I could get here to come into this audience right now.
name is Al, I'm a librarian, and I'm invisible. Like, actually invisible. You don't see me, but I see you misplace books in the wrong genre aisle after I perfectly sorted by letter type. I could probably walk through you if I wanted to. And day by day, page by page, I lose more of myself. Endless pages of knowledge, and one can't set me free of this. When you're invisible, you're not seen. It's not like I was ever seen anyways. The books have given me a peace of mind, especially the fairy tale section. Princes slay dragons and wreak havoc to protect their princesses. Courage, dignity, and being grounded. I have none of those qualities. I want to slay dragons and use dainty swords, but I have nothing. Nothing to stand for. No princesses, no dragons, no... Anyways, there's this one book in the stand-up section that's me. It's me, I know it. It's my story, my shine. My family has a gathering every Easter at my grandparents'. Beautiful place, by the way. Anyways, I get there late picking up my sister Kathy from the airport, and all the rooms are taken, and I have to sleep on the couch. You know, it's late, it's fine. I put a sheet on the couch, fluff up the pillow, you know, making it real homey. And it worked surprisingly. I was out like a light, and it surprised me, because it felt like Saber Steel made it themselves. The couch was so hard that I slept. Now, I'm a dreamer, and when I tell you I would have given the world to stay asleep, because when I opened my eyes, my uncle was in his briefs drinking juice straight from the carton. Right. Now, keep in mind, my uncle's a big guy, very big guy. Now imagine The Rock if he's wearing pink bedazzled slides with Hello Kitty stickers on them, only undies drinking straight from a carton. This is the same guy who used to put me in timeout? I don't know. I had to get a picture, so I grabbed my phone and snapped one. Comedians get to say whatever they want as long as it's funny. Anything from their kids, private lives, or somebody else's. They stand in front of hundreds of people and talk to them like they've just met them. I sit up in front of people who I've known since high school and can't spit out a single word. Why? Why can't I express my moments of discomfort? Why can't I tell my friends about my day? Why do I have to be a shadow in a library? Why? Why can't I speak? Why do I relate to Stand Up Tony Stand Up? The same answers for all these questions. I don't know.
Journal entry number 1, September 12, 2016. Hi, my name's Charlie Jimenez, and I don't know why I'm doing this. Not too long ago, my friend Maddie suggested I see a therapist, and although I hated even the thought of it, I went. My therapist, Mr. Clark or whatever his name was, gave me this stupid journal to write in. He said it could be like a vent book or something. This is stupid. I don't vent. This is not venting. Entry number 2. September 21st. It's been a week since I started seeing that crappy therapist. He asked if I've been writing, and I said no. He suggested I should write more, and it would make me feel better. I suggested he should get another job. Entry number 3, September 25th. This is entirely stupid. I had to go again this week, all because I had a little breakdown at school. Shh. He said it was a panic attack and diagnosed me with social anxiety. I'll let you know I'm perfectly capable of talking to people. I just don't. Entry number 4, September 26th. Friday. It happened again. Cafeteria. Everyone was staring at me and I couldn't move. Felt like my body was sinking in lava. My lungs were being crushed by a boulder. God, I hate it here. I just want to go home. Entry number 5, October 5th. How long has it been since I first came to New York? A full year by now, I'd say. I started seeing this therapist, Mr. Clark, or as I call, Mr. C. He's okay, I guess. He helped me deal with these sudden attacks and stuff, but they still haven't gone down. Nothing like this ever happened in Puerto Rico. I miss my family, I miss my friends, and I miss my home. Entry number 6, October 6th. I'm only here because we couldn't afford a good school at home, and Maddie's parents suggested to take care of me. I'm only here for my parents. Get a good education. You'll go places we can never. Buy a big house. Have a beautiful family. I'm only doing this for them. Entry number 12, December 5th. Another day, hit replay, 6:45, get up, 7:34, board the bus. 8:10, history, science, health, lunch. No one sees me. Good. I wave to the same people on the way to math, hi and bye, as it always goes. English, cold calling, ignore me. Good. I'm too lazy to do the math for a full year. But I'm pretty sure you get the point. Anyways, repeat. 6:45, get up, 7:34, board the bus. 11:28, math class, hi friends, bye friends. 12:16, English class. 4 kids, 1 table, huddled away. Don't call me, don't talk to me, I won't answer. Now can someone tell me why the author decided to use imagery here, the teacher said? I shrink down and hide away behind my computer, expecting the exact opposite. She calls my name, and everything stops. Heads turn, scattered students, everyone focusing on me. No, ignore me like every other day. She calls me a second time, and I can't help but forget everything. Their eyes feel like knives piercing through my skin. A third time, and I barely let out a peep. A simple, I know the answer, miss, and everyone's eyes avert from me. It's only been 2 minutes, and it feels like I've ran a 10-mile marathon. Every day, it's always the same, but I can't help break down into slushy whenever they call me. Maybe I should quit school. Journal entry number 28, September 15th, 2021. Hi, it's me again. I haven't written this since freshman year, and God, I was so emo back then. I guess I should reintroduce myself. My name's Charlie Jimenez. I'm 19 years old in my first year of college. You must be wondering, why am I writing in this after 4 years? And to that I say, I had no choice. The world has succumbed to chaos, and in result, birthed monsters fighting each other for a meaningless throne. You're probably thinking, but Charlie, isn't that just our regular old American government? And well, you aren't wrong. But this time it's different. On the day of September 10th, a meteorite came hurtling down to crash right in the center of New York, secreting a gas that affected almost the entire city. including me. Since I was closest to the crash, I was immediately sent into a 3-day coma, in which I woke from, obviously, 2 days ago. Since then, I've been studying what happened to the outside world, and it's not pretty. Entry number 29, September 16th. I realize I kind of left you on a cliffhanger there. So, let me tell you everything I've discovered. Almost everyone who was a part of the human species completely morphed into something else entirely. Monsters. These things are hunting each other for the hell of it, destroying our already freaked up monarchy and building up an entirely new one. When you look outside, all you see is hell. Bodies sprawled across the streets, buildings on fire, and these monsters walking around as if it's nothing. I hate to admit it, but I'm one of these horror creatures. I can do these inhumane things, and I hunger for something living. I'm running out of supplies, like food and water, and I know sooner or later I have to leave, but I'm afraid to go outside. What if I succumb to these desires? What if I start thirsting for violence? Entry number 30, September 24th. Every day feels like a living hell, and every day I find myself losing what little humanity I have left. Just today, I woke up to these blood-curdling screams outside my window, and the water officially shutting off. I feel like I'm fighting two wars at once. The monstrous desire to leave, and the human that wants to let it take over. I can't. No, I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. I'm all alone, and I feel like this black goo is taking over my body the longer I stay put. But if I go outside, I let this monster win. But if I stay, it'll win either way. So what am I supposed to do? Side entry number 31, later that day. I can't stand it here anymore. I feel like these thoughts are screaming at me constantly, and I almost want to rip out my ears. But I won't let it win. If I have to leave, I will. But I won't. I won't be succumbed to these horrendous desires, even if it means fighting for the rest of my life. I won't be anything like them. I'm not a monster.
I am myself, a body comprised of blood and bone, comprised of many systems that I call my own. A body also has cells that clone themselves. Just like when I look into a mirror, I say clone, but I may want it to be someone else. The image in the mirror can make me feel doubtful emotions, the whole collection. But I tell myself that isn't me. That's a reflection. I am a reflection. Found in water, either fresh or amongst the waves. My mood changes between both on the days I choose not to behave. A reflection is also found in glass. If you tap me too hard, I might fracture and collapse. I really want to be strong, not a broken piece. But in reality, I know I'm very fragile. I am fragile. Glass outline of a human body. In the sun, I glisten, remaining perfectly calm. But in the storm, one poke, and I may be forever gone. Caught in a cyclone that continues to tear my pieces apart. But the cyclone is just words that go straight to my heart. The emotion I feel is simply fragility. Placed upon that is immense anxiety. I am anxiety. Emotion I attempt to suppress. But I am caught in a reality that amplifies dysmorphia simply from the social media that is handed to me. I always cluster my words up because my mind's always thinking of the worst possibilities. My mind's made up of puzzle pieces, none of them are clicking. I'm grasping on eternity, my hands are always slipping. I may be winning outside, but inside I'm screaming, kicking, trying to search for an ailment for my mind, a cure, but everything turns into a blur, and I'm simply left with failure. I am failure. Am I actually saying this, or is this just failure? Am I really believing myself, or am I just failure? Why does it feel like my ears are ringing, my heart is stinging? Is it because I'm admitting I'm failure? But is that failure? I'm not failing to realize my mistakes or making excuses that break all the choices I made and continue to make. At least I'm taking a step in the right direction, or I believe I am. That's not me being a failure, that's me learning to truly understand. Don't shame me. All I need is you to acknowledge me and hold out a hand. Because all I'm doing is realizing myself.
Come on.
I am myself.
Good job, everybody.